Hello everybody, this is Rich Barrington for RB Outdoors Northwest. We are camping this weekend and I decided to do my almost 1 year review on our Jackery 1000. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find everything that I have with me and plug it in here and show you what this thing can and can't do. I gotta tell you, this thing is an absolutely game changer. So let's get to it. I'm going to start plugging stuff in here, and basically I'm just on this video I'm going to show you what I've used it for in the past to give you more ideas of what you can actually use it for. So what I'm going to show you on the Jackery today is stuff that I've used all the time and Brenda has used all the time, like when we were in the Baja and while we're camping, just like we're doing now. Some stuff might surprise you, some stuff is ordinary, like charging phones and cameras, but I'm just going to show you what it can do and give you ideas, because that is the #1 question I get, like, well, what can you use for besides charging your phone? Well, you can use a lot. So #1, Magic Bullet. It's just a little blender. So if you like a smoothie or you want to make a margarita, it will work. So we're plugged in. So if this was a margarita right now, you'd be very happy right now. You can make margaritas anywhere, anytime. The way I look at it, anything under 1,000 watts, the Jackery can run. So you can look on the back or the underneath of your appliance, and it will usually tell you how many watts it requires to run. So again, this is a 1,000-watt Jackery. So, but it actually will do a little bit more with our next item. This is especially for the ladies. If you're out camping, or you're living the van life, or you're a full-time RVer, this will actually surprise you. This is actually a 1,600-watt hair dryer that my wife uses, and it will work on medium heat. We are in the Baja. The portable Traeger. We're up to about 94 degrees right now. The Jackery 250, and as you can see, it's pulling about 186, 89 watts. We just started this thing. We're up to 116 degrees right now, and we are going to be smoking some fresh clams that we just got. And we thought this would be a great video to show just another use of the Jackery and how versatile these things are. Alright, the clams are on. We're just on smoke. And look at the Jackery. We're pulling about 24 watts. And that's because the heat rod in there is now up to temperature. And we're going to see if it cycles on and off. I think once it gets up to temperature, it may only kick on, I don't know, maybe every 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm looking at it, it's at 22, 25 watts. It's that initial startup that was in around the 200 watt range for a couple minutes. So we will see how long it takes to smoke these beautiful clams. Oh, it's been about 30-35 minutes. You can see one opening right there. So the trimmer's on. Oh, there's 12 to 8 watts. And we're at 99%. first Baja haircut. About an 8 to 10 minute haircut. We are still at 99%. It was averaging anywhere between 8 to 12 watts. And I got myself a haircut in the Baja. Here's another one for the ladies. A hair straightener. These things get pretty hot. So ladies, you can straighten your hair in the back seat of your car in the campground using the Jackery 1000. So you can take a shower, you can dry blow your hair and straighten your hair all out in the middle of nowhere if you had the Jackery 1000. Alright, look what I've got plugged in here. I have got a tablet charging in the USB here. I've got my phone charging in the other USB here. I have my Apple MacBook charging. Guys, you're out camping for 10 days. You're at elk camp for 10 days. You still got to brush your teeth, right? Most people use an electric toothbrush. I am plugged in and I am charging. I'm charging my 20 volt battery for my drill. Now let's see how many watts we're pulling. So that just shows you I've got 5 things charging and I'm not even at 45 watts. So with everyone's phones, laptops, iPads, everything, you can definitely charge all of your electronics off-grid quite easily with this Jackery. So now let's go to some stuff that you may not think you could do with it. Okay, this one you might not think of using your Jackery for, but here's a scenario. Let's say you have some like off-grid property and it's fire season and you cannot use a gas chainsaw. Last year on our property we couldn't use our saw for almost 2.5 months, a gas operated one, because the fire danger was so high. But I do have an electric chainsaw. So I'm going to cut this wood and show you that the Jackery can keep up and cut probably about a 4.5 to 5 inch diameter log. My chain's pretty dull, but as you can see, I mean, that's a decent size round log. Here's another great use on the Jackery 1000. Remember I said you can look on a tag and see how many watts, whatever you're trying to plug in. Well, this says 24 watts. This is just a big bundle of LED lights. Voila! So the way you can figure this out, this takes 24 watts to run all these bulbs. You can run these lights for a little bit more than 40 hours straight before this thing goes down. All I'm doing is timing the watts, and once you get up to about 1,000 watts, then that means this will die. So almost, it'd be like 44, 43 hours you can run this. So if you're having like an off-grid camping area or birthday party or anniversary, you could actually string in several of these lights, and you might be only up to 50 or 75 watts, and just run it for, that evening, and this would be more than enough power to get you through your party for some great exterior illumination. We were not always full-time RVers, obviously, and we tented for years and years and years. This is a heating pad or small heating blanket. You know, you can get pretty cold early spring or late fall in a tent. And let's just see how this Jackery does with the heating pad that you can slip in your sleeping bag if you start to get chilly. So let's turn this thing on. So hovering around 52 to 54 watts, you could get upwards of probably about 16 to 18 hours on high on a heating pad that you can put in your sleeping bag while you're tent camping. So if you're camping for a couple, 2 or 3 nights, and you never had to charge this, you could use this for a couple nights. And that's on high. So I think even on low, you're just going to extend your time with the heating pad. Again, early spring, late fall. Even though you got a good down sleeping bag, it'd be kind of nice to maybe preheat your bag. Turn this on, put it in your bag, and sit by the campfire for another 20 minutes, and you crawl in and your bag could be nice and warm. Again, this Jackery, if you really start opening your mind and think what you can actually use this for, it's quite mind-boggling, because a lot of people just strictly use it for their laptops and charging phones. That's about it. But really think out of the box. Anything under 1,000 watts for this model, as you can see, works pretty dang good. And the newest range is portable refrigerator freezers. This is a Snowmaster. This thing is awesome. When it actually turns on, it only requires 66 watts. So it doesn't run constant. It's just like your refrigerator at home. Whatever you have it set at, it's going to cool down, and then it's going to shut off. And then at a certain point when it warms up, it kicks back on. But let's just say it ran 66 watts constantly, which it does not. You could still get about 16 to 18 hours of consistent run time off the Jackery 1000. In the Baja, I've actually had this plugged in at 100%, and I ran this for 2.5 days straight in 80-degree plus weather before I had to recharge the Jackery. So if you're off-roader, van life, all the other cool stuff that's been happening all these few years, and this, to me, I don't know if I could go without it. The Snowmaster, you can make it a fridge, freezer, freezer, fridge. I can get it down to 8 below, and in junction with the Jackery 1000, I gotta tell you, these two, it's a great marriage. Things that will work and not work with the Jackery. Now, I've already tested this because I wanted to make some popcorn in my hot air popper. And again, right here on the bottom, I already know how many watts this thing requires. It's 1440 watts. So let's just see what happens when I turn this baby on. $13.50. $13.80. Oh. Do you see what happened right there? It got up out to 1380, 1385, and this is too much for it. So the neat thing is, though, when something is too much, the Jackery has a safety in it to where when the watts get too high, it automatically shuts off, so nothing happens bad. So we're going to unplug it, turn it back on, we're good to go. So popcorn maker, you're going to have to do your cast iron or bring your Jiffy Pop, because the Jackery 1000 will not use this. So now I'm going to show you another thing. Again, it's not a highly recommended thing, but I've seen it on several occasions where you've been camping for, you know, several days or even a week or more, and you back up to your trailer and you hit your automatic jack and your battery is too low or dead to move your jack up and down. What do you do then? You can hook up the Jackery. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, here I am on the back side of my outdoors RV trailer, and I've seen this numerous times where you've been camping and your battery gets so low it still may run your LED lights in your rig, but when it's time to move your slide outs back in, raise your jack to hook up to your truck, but your batteries are too dead. So you can get a 30 amp by 110 adapter, plug it into the Jackery, turn it on, and right now I'm pulling anywhere from 394 watts to 400 watts. So that's still plenty of power to run my slides back in and my jack, just in case if my batteries were too dead to move my slides in. Again, not highly recommended to do it, you know, on a constant, because at this rate the Jackery at 100% would go dead in about 2 hours or so. But this also gives me 110 volts in all my plug-ins, so it could be a backup if you didn't, you know, if let's say your generator quit and you needed some power to your outlets, you could hook your 110 to your 30 amp adapter to the Jackery. And again, right now we're hovering about 388 watts. So just another way, if you think out of the box, how these things can really help you, especially even in an emergency situation. Well guys, there you have it. The Jackery 1000 has literally hundreds and hundreds of uses if you can just open your mind and realize what this thing can do. I hope I answered some of your questions. If you have any more questions or comments, please leave them down below. Like I said, this thing has absolutely been a game changer for Brenda and I and our full-time RV living. And it comes with all the attachments you need to charge. You can charge 12 volt, 110, and solar. Comes with everything you need to do. I can't say enough about the Jackery 1000. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, and we will see you soon.